The problem is that each of these issues is being dealt with in a bitsy kind of way. There's labor issues, there's mechanization issues, there's this, and there's no coherent plan by industry, labor, and the government to how to manage these sorts of things. The other questions I'd like to kind of bundle together in a way and answer in terms of an analytical framework about shareholder value maximization, which was mentioned in Gavin's article in the Sunday Times on financialization, and which Sam Ashman is a specialist in. And this idea is that there's been a process of change in economic logic and like corporate logic, where one of the aspects, which is termed financialization, and one of the aspects of that is maximizing returns to shareholders. So not retaining profit and investing that in a long-term like manner. And we haven't looked at this in its entirety in this industry by any means. But the distribution, the sort of extremely large share of distribution to shareholders, even to the extent that there's not very much left over, speaks to this idea of the shareholder value maximization, as does things like share buybacks and things like that.
We need to try and work together to compel the company to invest in the community. We need to work together, and I've said this before and I want to say it in this gathering. We must mobilize support for the workers in this country. Not just the platinum workers, just the working class, because they continue to be exploited, they continue to be oppressed, even by the conditions under which they work. I think that the study is independent enough, and therefore it should inform the way we want to help the workers, particularly in the platinum belt. Before I've said to my own church, we need to disinvest from the mining companies because they're not doing much to improve the lot of the workers. I think it's about time that we take this struggle now broader and say we must boycott all products that come from the mining areas. Churches are big investors. Workers themselves are big investors. Universities are big investors. It has been done before. Why don't we call for sanctions now? What has changed? Has the new government really delivered for the working class in this country? If you were to ask me, I would say no. But we can force them to begin to take the workers seriously. How embarrassing just the other day that a workers' leader was said to have been paying his cattle minder 800 rands a month. And the leader of the Communist Party says the young man must be very happy because he's uneducated. The same language Mr. Griffiths used to undermine the people that actually produces the wealth.